Smile.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello, and welcome everybody to Cathy's Distant Echoes show, Flying with Angels. I'm one of your hosts, Lynn Harrison, and the other host we have here is our lovely Riana George. We're your hosts and card readers, and today's show is in memory of Cathy Bradshaw, who was the original founder of Cathy's Distant Echoes. She was beautiful on earth, and she still is in heaven. And we're under an umbrella of love, and we have people from Spirit pop in, and also lots of different people just pop into the show. So if you'd like to come and pop into the show, your call-in number is don't anybody type in the chat room. The call-in number is 631-353-4342 and enter 70017 to speak to the host. And you'll get through to me, and I can connect you to everybody in the chat room if you have a message for them, if you would like just to speak to me and Rihanna, or if, of course, you would like a reading. I'll be using flower cards today and the Archangel Power cards, and as it is the merry month of May, we have a very strong presence of the Divine Mother Mary and a very strong presence of Gabriel here as well today. So there's Archangel Gabriel coming in. Rihanna has the Gabriel cards. We also, she also uses Archangel Michael cards and some other cards. But there's Archangel Michael. Can you put that one up again? Oh yes, that's the Archangel cards. This card with Archangel Michael, everybody I always like to say that's Archangel Michael does pray, but when we do our show, he says, "Dear God, please help me with these ladies on this show." Please help everybody on this show. So,
and I use the therapy deck as well.
yeah, well, that's the Archangel cards, isn't it? And you've got the therapy cards as well.
Yeah, and I've got the therapy cards. There we
and
are.
the therapy cards are good, whereas I'm just using two today. But if you'd like a reading from us, just call in. I'd like to welcome Jules to the show, and I'd like to welcome Becca to the show, and our wonderful Simon, who was on camera and he's disappeared. But Simon might come on later and spread some lovely words of wisdom with us. So I'm going to pass you over to Rihanna now. And she would like to say the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic to English. Hello, Rihanna.
Hello. For all of the people who listen to our show, who are here today, who don't know, I'm going to explain a little bit about this, because the other co-host, Cathy's Distant Echoes, Nick Nash in Canada, shared this with
That's
Lynn.
Nick Nash.
Yes. And we've been using this ever since. And I did some research on it, and it is the Lord's Prayer translated from Aramaic into English through the Nazarene. And it speaks volumes to what Linz and I and people that work with spirit are all about. And it gives a beautiful essence of what it really is, what the light is, and what the universe gives to us through our Creator. So I'll begin. O thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms with sound, light, and vibration. May your light be experienced in our utmost holiest. Your heavenly domain approaches. Let your will come true in the universe. Give us wisdom for our daily need, and detach the fetters and faults that bind us. Let us not be lost in superficial things. But let us be freed from that which keeps us from our true purpose. From you comes the all-working will, the lively strength to act, the song that beautifies all and renews itself from age to age, sealed in trust, faith, gratitude, truth and love. As it is spoken, so it is. Amen. And a reminder to you. I found this, I think it was on Facebook and social media, but it says it all. A reminder to each and individual one of you. You are a beautiful, magnificent, multi-dimensional being whose sole purpose is to expand into love and be love, as is who you are. Namaste.
Namaste, and thank you very much, Riana. Before we get going, I would just like to read the Fly with Angels card reading disclaimer, and then we shall just proceed with the show. If you'd like a reading, please do call in on 631 353 4342 and enter 70017 when asked to. There should be a Skype button, which I can't see at the moment. There should be a Skype button to the show, so you can Skype in. That number is for if you Skype in, and you'll get through to me. And if you come in on the computer and join the show, you'll get through to the chat room. It's easy to follow the instructions. And hello, Simon. Is our wonderful Simon has just come in.
Webcam's on. Well, you'll get it now.
Well, today, everybody, we're celebrating the merry month of May. And the merry month of May is a beautiful month. It's a month dedicated to the divine feminine, to Mother Mary, to the goddess Gaia, to Earth, and to all things feminine. It is the time also that when Archangel Gabriel visited Mother Mary to say to her that she was going to have Jesus. And but as well as that, it's such a beautiful month. That spring has finally come here in the UK after rain and rain and rain. And it is raining today, but we've had some absolutely glorious weather, and the flowers are all coming out, and the countryside and the fields now are just absolutely beautiful with daisies and buttercups and little pink flowers and blue flowers, and to see the nature and the trees blossom. The trees are starting to blossom as well. It is really nice, and you can understand why people years ago were in awe of May, because it's like, although we're in the spring season, it's the beginning of new life everywhere, and the beginning of spring, and it's beautiful. So do you have anything you'd like to say, Riana? Is Archangel Gabriel tapping you on the shoulder?
Yes, just to say that, yes, this springtime and the changes that it brings, even all over the earth, because there's other parts of the world that are embracing their winter months, or, you know, the beginning of their autumns. Just embrace it wherever you are. It's very, very special. And what happens during the autumn, you see the beautiful, beautiful leaves of trees that fall and give you such vibrant colour. And it renews the earth, and it puts a protection around the trees and the earth for when the, if you like, the snows and everything arrive. And what Lynn said reminded me very much of a beautiful, beautiful song within this rebirth. And it was a bit of a poignant song I used to sing years ago. And it reminded me of our beautiful vocal coach who's in spirit. But it's so true. If you read the words of the lyrics of The Rose by Bette Midler,
Oh
and
yes, I like those.
there's a song about they had a friendship in the film, a friendship with a beautiful song, who was very intelligent into the I think the corporate world, and there was Bette, down and out, rough and ready, singer, full of the Broadway bit. But they came together in such a beautiful partnership. And the blessings that came from that, even though the beautiful friend passed to spirit, the renewal was unbelievable. And so I take from that on a personal vein lots from it. Because when you're going through a trial or something like that, stay in the now. Only bring from the past what enhances you in that space. And take a deep breath. Because then all of a sudden, new birth arrives. Something will bless you. And it won't have to be a great, big, ginormous thing. But something will bless you so much, it makes you smile. And a smile is your inherent essence. You're allowed to smile, be happy, anything outside. And though you observe, but over all things, be happy and realise that this is the cycle of life, and enjoy your life every minute you have. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Rihanna. That was a very nice thing to say. Simon's put the character was based on Janis Joplin. I didn't think it was, but the producers weren't allowed to say this for legal reasons. But
Yeah.
I like that film, but I find it too sad at the end. And I can see what you're saying, but if you are going through a time where you've lost somebody at the moment, it takes a while. Just give yourself time and remember the happy times, and you'll find that little thing to make you smile that will just lift you. Isn't
Yes.
that right, Rihanna?
True.
Now,
Do you know what? It's funny, Simon. I didn't realise that about that it was based on Janis Joplin. But you know, there was something about Janis Joplin. I really sort of like related to her music, and there was an older lady, I think in her 70s, that came onto one of these contest shows recently here in the UK, and boy did she rock it. You know, she was unbelievable for her age, and she'd been doing it years ago. And I did a bit of research on this lady, and the original song that Bette Midler became famous with, not Bette Midler, Pat Benatar, which is a song that I used to sing when I was gigging with Becky yonks ago. Well, couldn't do it now, drive me mad. But yeah, a beautiful song. It was rewritten apparently for Pat Benatar, and it was against this lady in Pat Benatar. It went with Pat Benatar, but she still pursued. She still carried on doing gigs and doing what she loves, and expressed the fact that that music was in her soul. Talk about vibrant. She was extremely vibrant lady. So, you know, it's called about believing in yourself, accepting who you are, and just loving life anyway, which to me is very important. But yeah, I used to love Janis Joplin big time. I mean, even though she was supposedly on the old drugs and all that, inside she had an absolutely beautiful, sensitive heart, which obviously in life affects people different ways. And the fame and everything else, you know, you have to be an extremely strong character, and probably sometimes have a heart of nails to actually work in those fields, as hard as it is, you do. But yeah, Janis Joplin was a beautiful soul. I really believe that.
Yeah, you've
But
told me that before, and I found it very
yeah,
interesting
I
because
was
I
really,
wasn't a fan of hers, and I didn't know much about her. But when you say about her life, Rihanna, and how she was, it makes you understand
yes,
more of why she was like that. Simon is a mind of information. Thank you,
yeah,
Simon. Simon has put up the 27 Club.
yes.
So was that one of her albums, or where she used to
There
sing?
was another elderly lady. My mind, sorry, I spotted it on YouTube. An elderly singer. I don't know whether she was a coloured lady, a very famous
Oh,
singer. Sang a lot of Janis Joplin songs, or the songs that Janis Joplin did. I'm not sure if the elderly lady wrote them and Janis revamped them or what, but it's absolutely unbelievable. It's an
yeah.
older lady.
Yeah. Well, Simon said that the 27 Club was that she died at 27, and I suppose there's quite a few people in the limelight that have died at 27. Would you like to elaborate on that, Simon? Shall I unmute you?
I have just unmuted myself. Yeah, it's become several. I know several famous singers have died at 27 or
Yes.
committed suicide. Like, as I say, Amy Winehouse, and the other one that comes to mind is Graham Parsons. In fact, when Janis Joplin heard that he died, her reaction apparently was, "Damn him, he beat me to it."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, isn't it? Really.
It's very sad.
Um,
I mean, I don't know whether people have read much about Amy Winehouse. She was another one who suffered by a lot of misfortune. A lot of the songs that she wrote actually were quite poignant to her life, Linz. You know, and
well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they are, aren't they?
um, you can see another sensitive soul that obviously it wasn't meant to. It was meant to return and do another journey. That's how I see it. Because
Yeah.
in this time, it was impossible for their soul to be renewed. So, and it happens in life, you know. But we wish them well. I think they're beautiful people who are still, from time to time, bring me a great deal of pleasure.
Oh, isn't there a lot of musicians in spirit? They're all having a party up there today. And did everybody enjoy the royal wedding? I know you might not be royalists, but what a lovely couple of hours just to get away and watch something nice on the telly, and all that love that was going out, and that was going out all over the world, you know.
I'm going to
So,
watch player when things settle down. I've not had an opportunity yet, as usual,
no, I
but
know you haven't, Rihanna, but it's well worth it. You'll enjoy it.
yes.
It was, I wish them very well. It was a beautiful wedding. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, shall we do Jules? Jules, would you like a reading? I've got, it's me going, that's not very good, is it? I've got the flower cards today, and something tells me you're a pixie. You're a little pixie today, and you love going out in nature, and just talking to trees and walking around. And I don't know if you've got a dog, but you thoroughly enjoy. Um, that would be great. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Are
Yes.
you happy with no dog at present? Oh, well, are you happy with the if you've got a dog, everybody, and they've passed over, they do come and sit by your feet certain times. And if you feel like a cold air around your feet, it's more often than not your dog with you. you know, or a cat
Lindsay's had her
even.
dogs with her, and she's got a new one now.
Oh yeah, I've got a new one now, but they all play together. But
Yeah, they
sometimes I'll be sat here. If I'm not very well, it's Honey that comes, my border collie, and I know it's her, because she was a bit bigger, and Bracken and Topper come too sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
right. Julie says, once I'm settled, I've thought about getting maybe a pet.
Oh,
Her
lovely.
dog passed in 2012 and she was 15. That's a long time, isn't it?
Wonderful
Yeah.
age. Oh. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very upsetting.
Yeah, I would think it would be once you feel settled and you're able to. I mean, I don't know your circumstance, but if your circumstances are that you could have a dog, you know, it would be such a blessing to you, as you love nature anyway. And they're really
but
good.
then saying that, you're tied if you've got a dog, and they can be hard work. But then, Casper is my keep fit dog. You know, I wouldn't do anything if it weren't for him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, yeah. I think that's a brilliant idea, Jules. Right, carry on. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm reading what she's put in the chat room.
Jimi Hendrix was 27. I didn't think he was that. I didn't think he was that young. But he did a big thing for. Where did he come from, Jimi Hendrix? Jamaica. Somebody posted on Facebook, Alabama. Alabama. Oh, somebody put on Facebook this lovely. I think it was Robert Sharp. He's a friend of Flying with Angels, and we like Robert. He put up a picture of this beautiful sky, and under it was a Jimi Hendrix quote which said, "Excuse me while I just kiss the sky," you know, and it was so beautiful, and it was such a lovely phrase. Quite a few people shared it. Did you see that one, Rihanna?
What's that? Sorry.
It's "Excuse me while I just kiss the sky." Did you see that with Robert's photo of this beautiful sunset? Can you not hear me, Rihanna?
I can. I said, yes, lovely. I remember.
Oh,
Saw it. Robert.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Are you going to do some cards for Jules?
Yeah, I'm doing cards for Jewel. I'm just shuffling them. Right, I'm going to do you a May bouquet of beautiful flowers, Jules. Right, think about what you have a question to, and we'll see what comes up. Right. Right, in your bouquet, you've got sweet peas. Your wishes are coming true. Pink lilies, which is stand by your commitments, and a yellow rose, balance, rest, work and play. Now, there's your bouquet, look. That's the sweet peas, got beautiful fragrance to them. And that is the lily. And that's the roses. That's all coming through. That's all coming through as you, as a bouquet for you. So picture a bouquet of flowers like that in your hand and say, I'm going to get some flowers the flowers are yours. Now, with the yellow rose, balance, work, rest and play. It might pay you to have a little review of what your day's going like and how much you've got going on, so that you can have plenty of time to, so you're not out of balance. You can go to work or do your work and take time to rest, but you can also play. So it could be that you've been out of kilter lately and out of energy, or things seem to be going all for one thing, and you need to lighten up and take the next step, but do it lightly. And you also, by doing that, you can stand by your commitments, because you've committed yourself to what you're doing, and that'll take off. But you need to relax a bit so that when you are doing things, you've got the energy to do it. And when you've been playing, you feel better. Rihanna will sometimes go out, won't you, Rihanna?
I always say,
for a meal or something, or do something different.
So,
And she always says it lifts
I
her.
love nature, but the answer is now and again, we have to go back. We can be very spiritual, we can work with spirit, and the angels are with us all the time, but we have to appreciate ourselves, and sometimes that means go out for a meal, go and or go and watch music. It means actually go and do something. You never lose it, but you're honouring your space, because your human carries your beautiful soul, your beautiful spirit, and it has an ability to heal itself. So although we must look after it health-wise, we must also look after it mind, body, soul and spirit. I also love going to my Reiki share groups to receive, because that again brings a balance. So it's quite important. Yeah, I agree with you, Limbs.
Yeah, and it's your wishes are coming true. So that's the sweet pea. When you see sweet peas or smell them, just make a wish and say, my wishes are coming true. And it's all the seeds that you've planted are the things that you've been doing, and all the things you've wished and hoped for, you're bringing to you, and they're all going to come about. So my wishes are coming true. Yay! Thank you, Rihanna. I'm Lindsay, by the way, and that's Rihanna. I'm Lindsay, and that's Rihanna. Rihanna's going to give you a reading now.
Hi, Jules. Yeah, I was just following on what Lynn has said, but I'm going to go with what the angels are bringing forth to me about you, because what I do is I had 4 from the Markle deck, 2 from Gabriel, 1 from the Archangel deck, and 2 from the Therapy deck. And so what I do is I look at all of them and I pick up on where you are in this present now, okay, which could also have something to do with the past, as you move on without much expectation, but with renewed faith for your next place where you walk, okay. So let's have a look. They're telling me there for this Archangel Haniel here, and he's saying, bless you. And it's funny that we've been talking about sensitivity and sensitivity parts. He's very much aware that you're extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Just honour yourself and those feelings, and know that they walk beside you, that they're lifting you where is necessary. Have faith in yourself to accomplish. We have to walk through that space, but know that we have something a lot higher above walking with us as we go through those spaces, okay? because I want to remind you that it is time for you to backing away any fears you have about the next little step that you take. Fear not, okay? You have many ascended masters watching over you. Many, many, many. They could in fact be some of your ancestors, but these are just powerful, loving and wise spiritual teachers, and they're watching over you and they're guiding you. Sometimes we get caught up, what I call, Rihanna's always called it a icky head, in our mind. I've done it, sorry, I will put my hands up and I have to take a deep breath and step back and go, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I have to take the space. So take the space. And then, yeah, I got that, Jules. Then what you do is you then ask the heart to the higher self. You protect the heart, but you ask the higher self to and connect to your spirit and your soul, and ask for peace. Bring the peace and calm so you can see it more with clarity. Okay. And so know they're there. They're watching over you at all times, and they're just saying, just vacuum. You walk through the fear and then vacuum it away. In other words, don't let the icky head, don't let the energy attach itself too long to you, because you're more than worthy. Just transmute, have your hand, and then transmutate it and forget it. Get on with your beautiful life and be happy. Okay, because you can open your heart to love. As you walk through this space and you get through it, you will open your heart to what that unconditional love is within you, and it will attract people to you. But first you must be content within yourself. Okay? So all these things that you're working through, you're working towards your rewards. Okay? So I have the authenticity card from Archangel Gabriel watching over us. It's okay to be authentically you. I think sometimes we try too hard, yeah? And we remove ourselves from who we really are. Because we think we've got to be something a bit different to appease and please. No, we don't. Just be yourself, but find out who your true self is, and just be that, and everything's going to be fine. And the open your heart to love card was again from Archangel Gabriel, darling, and he's watching over you. He's watching over a lot of people at the moment. He's helping us with communication, understanding of calmness and reverence that comes from Creator, and he was even here helping you to back away any fears. So you have to walk through them. He's going to be walking by your side, and when the time comes, the right time comes, it's going to go gone. Okay, because you will be wanting, you'll go gone. You will know at that point whereby you're ready to take the next step in life. Okay, so we got that. Now Archangel Michael cards, darling. God, I had a lot of cards for you. Yeah, too much. Yeah, head gone. Bless you. There is a certain person. I think it's a friend. I don't think it's anything to do with romance or anything like that. But Archangel Michael's telling me there's a person that you're asking about, and it's just having faith. They're trustworthy. You're not too sure, but they're trustworthy, is what he's saying. And your prayer for that is, thank you for helping me have faith so I can put my heart wider in my relationships with people. And I am grateful for your protection and ensuring that only trustworthy people are in my life. Now, I know sometimes we have to be in a strong place in order to see that. Sometimes we have to walk through an area of trust, and then it's like opening the door. If it's not, it will soon come to notice if it's not right. I had an instance recently, and that's the way it is, you know. It's part of a learning curve, and we all do it in that right bins.
Yes, it is. Also, you have a stillness time where you've taken in all this information, but your body and your mind needs to catch up with it, catch up with the spiritual side of you. And so sometimes you might feel like you're in a lull and you think, oh, this isn't going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. And you can't see your way forward, but you can't see how far you've come either. And then after a while, that clears, and you go off again on another spurt. You have to connect. You have to have everything integrate with all your system. Yeah.
And here he's coming. Ah, would you like
coming?
Archangel Michael again, 2 jewels? Ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. So he's a protector of sensitive hearts, not just the physical. He actually protects emotions and what our responses need to be. If we need to be strong, Jules, at times, he helps us to be strong. He helps us to forgive for our benefit, because, you know, you need to forgive yourself if you've made a boo-boo or a wrong decision, because we don't like thinking ill of anyone or anything, but sometimes we have to set the boundary. And sensitive people, and a lot of us work with spirit who are really connected, sometimes find that very hard to do, but we have to do it in order to protect, okay? So don't feel fearful. I think that's why it said he was coming through with them clearly backing away the fear also, because I think that's quite important.
So with that, Gabriel and Michael have come through with that.
Archangel Michael comes through with...
Yeah, but I thought you said Gabriel did as well earlier in one of the cards.
Yes, yeah, they're all coming through. Archangel Michael prayer, thank you for assisting me with whatever the situation is. Please help me be filled with faith and peace at all times.
Jules has put, yes, boundaries are a big one for me. I'm a work in progress up there, especially when it comes to family. Aren't we all? You're not alone, Jules. You're not alone, Jules. And she does call on Archangel Michael, but sometimes it's a job to get your head around things, or it's a job to give it to him and let it go. You know, just take it back, don't you?
No,
you know,
when
like
you
3 days later.
It's a favourable outcome. Okay. The prayer to him there is, thank you for the beautiful outcome of the situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith.
That's a lot of cards there, Rihanna.
No, I was like, but Spirit and the angels guide me.
Gabriel being with us, it's Archangel Michael, isn't it? He flicks your hand and then laughs.
Yeah, in order for you to, I mean, sometimes Spirit will say, well, be more creative, you know, bring out your artistic side or creative side. Some does a lot with them, with artwork. Lynn's just writing and artwork. I used to vocal, and so, but what I do like to do is when I can is do this, and this is what I advise you: go outdoors, spend time. If there's a place anywhere in nature, if not, put a YouTube video on, something that enlightens you, so you can, your focus then is directly in appreciation of nature and its name. And Mother Mary is with us too. So the other Archangel Michael card to close with is spend more time outdoors.
Oh, you got that one as well, did you?
Because when you're outdoors, Jules, you breathe the air, see everything that you can see. When we've got a lot of I call negative, and a lot of stuff going on. If you sit quiet there and you breathe the blessings, the joy, the fantastic things that we see in nature, our eyes are wider opened. So it gives us a chance to reflect just how wonderful nature is. And you are also of nature. You are also of an essence. You're also a being of love. So why not? It's all connected.
You don't
Blessings.
necessarily have to go.
It
Sorry,
went
Riana,
on a long one. Sorry about that.
you don't necessarily have to go to a woods or a forest. You could go down to your local park, and I bet you anything you like, you'll see pigeons. Which the pigeons to me, there's so many of them. They represent, and they're ordinary. They represent Archangel Michael because he looks after all the ordinary people. But you'll see people with dogs, and you'll see different people wandering around. It just lifts you up, you know. So. Yes, Simon, did you want to come on and say anything? Have you got anything for Jules? Simon might have a message for you, or he might not. Do you want me to unmute you? Have you got anything for Jules, Simon?
Oh, excuse me. Not at this minute.
No, not at this minute. He might do later. Simon is a mind of information. Cathy used to say he's so savvy, but sometimes he'll get a message from his guides. So I hope you enjoyed that, Jules, and that's helped you. And it's wonderful that what you were doing with Lizzie and Hazel. And I was hoping that Lizzie might pop in today, but I know she's very, very busy. So, where should we take the conversation now then, Riana?
Oh, well, I don't know, Lyd. Tell us about your recent walks with the doggy, as we've been talking about walks and doggy.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't really had a chance to be out, and I mean, Ian's working outside in the sunshine, but I've not been able to do that because
It's been so hot.
Unfortunately, I've been indoors. So it'd be nice to hear what's been going on during your walks and stuff like that. It'd be great.
Oh, I have lovely walks with Casper. It doesn't matter what the weather is. Sometimes it's a bit much if it's too cold, but I've been taking him out early, and he's got to know he goes out early now. But I take him out early because we've had such hot weather. And not only that, when I take him early, there's not too many people about. There's certain times of the day that's not too busy up there. We've got a lovely, huge park, and also there used to be a golf course area, and that is now a park where everybody walks their dogs. So I've got a huge countryside area with lovely trees and blossoms and that, and I get to meet all the people with dogs as well. And it's funny because I ask the people their names, and I say, "Oh, I'm Lynn's," and we never remember the person's name, and they don't either. But we always remember the name of the dog, because you know the ones you've met before, and you remember their names. And everybody up there says the same. They say, "Sorry, I can't remember your name, but I remember Casper," you know. So, but we've had some nice walks. But when we had all that rain, it was just all total mud and getting muddy. But I walk a lot further now. I'm doing very well with my walking, and Casper's just good fun.
What came to me as well this morning, because I did a bit of meditation, that it wasn't so much woe is me I've been stuck in. It reminded me to be in a mass amount of gratitude, because all the people that are totally disabled and stuck within their own environment, the people who are in a hospital bed who can't move, you know, when there's glorious sunshine, the gifts that we have are such a blessing, and I'll give thanks for that. And you know, so I mean, not only that, the people that can link to on the internet to see films and things are wonderful. But my blessing goes in a big gratitude, Linz, because, you know, we are able, yeah, to do that. And I shall always have a grateful heart. But I love listening to your stories about Casper and the people you meet along the way, and the little dogs he
Well,
mixes with. Oh, it's
you're
fun.
saying about the disabled people, Rihanna. We have here a little community centre with a cafe, and they do a lot for the local communities, and it's council run, but they have bikes that disabled people can ride, and they get two-person bikes, and a carer gets on with them, and there's all sorts. And I think they're amazing. They ride around these parks areas, and they've done the paths up so that they can, and they thoroughly enjoy it. Anyway, I was thinking, where'd they get the energy? Because I can't ride a bike now. I can ride a bike, but it's too much for my legs. Anyway, Casper, they stopped to say hello to Casper because he likes to say hello to them, and they get to know him. And he, as they were trying to say hello, I said to this carer, I said, these bikes are amazing. You really go all over the place with them, and it keeps you fit. And she said, yeah, they've got a motor on them. They're motorised, so you cycle a bit, and it makes it easier. It's got an electric motor on it, so when they've got a slope and they're going uphill, they can put the motor on, and it helps them. And I said, what a brilliant idea!
You know, I think it's a lovely idea, and you know, just to think,
the smile on the disabled people
yes,
on their faces is wonderful, and they always say hello and hi. And Bracken was the one. He used to wait for them. Not Bracken, Blade. He
yes,
used to have ever such a lot know him and pat him, and he used to sit by them when they stopped and let them stroke him, you know. And it's good for the dogs, but it's good all round, and it's good for the people that go riding the bikes, you know. And it was like on a Wednesday, but when the weather's nice, it's been like every day this week, you know.
it's lovely. It's lovely to see, because to a certain extent earlier on with my mum when she was able, but unfortunately she was a bit stubborn. You know, to have had something like that would have been lovely. I think one of the carers did hoist her into a wheelchair, and naturally, Bessa physically pushed her up into town. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them have borrowed. She borrowed somebody else's van that was wheelchair and able, and got her out. They've. I have been asked would I in a night order some runs. I've not heard anything back yet, because I don't know what they're going to do with the care. The idea was so that she could get the mum in a wheelchair and get her in and out to a vehicle to transfer her to the clinic. But we're not sure now what's going on regarding that, whether or not they're going to try and disperse the gallstones the drugs first, which normally happens. So we've not heard anything more, and we've not moved on with that. We're just seeing how things go at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. You can't.
With the instructions, and so until she guides into what she's wanting, we won't order it, obviously. But
No,
yeah,
I'm
so
sure that that will be sorted.
yes,
Yeah, people do get out. I do understand what you're saying, and we are very, very lucky to be
yes, we
able to get
are.
out. I mean, I'm lucky to be here, Rihanna. You know,
I
and
know.
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I had cancer, everybody, and I'm very grateful for still being here. And you look at life differently, you know,
Yes,
and
yes, you.
it also gives you a lot of compassion
Yes.
for other people, you know, because if somebody's struggling or having a bad day and perhaps they snap at you in the shop, you don't know. I used to be a shop assistant. You don't know what sort of day they're having,
No, you don't.
you know, and you can't put yourself in somebody. You can't judge someone and put yourself in somebody else's place unless you've walked in their shoes, you know. So I'm very grateful that I'm here, and I know lots of people are. Anyway, Jules has put, that was a wonderful. Harry and Meghan gave their wedding flowers to the hospice. Yes, it was, wasn't it? And I know in the hospices and the care homes, everybody would be watching the royal wedding. Plus, they put flags up in the day rooms, and they have a proper tea, you know, a tea and a piece of cake for the wedding, and they do nice sandwiches and that, and they make a good day of it for everybody, and everybody is included. And a lot of the older people, they like that, but a lot of the older people are very much royalty minded because that was how they grew up. They always grew up with the king or the queen and the royal family and the respect for them. And older people have a lot of respect for the royal family, and they would have street parties and that when they were younger, and also they like to do that when they're in the care homes for them. But yeah, so that was lovely that they gave those flowers, the wedding flowers, to a hospice, and I know that the ladies and gentlemen there would have loved it. And Julie also says dogs are masters of unconditional love.
Yes,
They are. You can a dog is absolutely amazing, you know, for unconditional love, and they they understand every word you say. And when Rihanna gets on the Skype to Casper, she talks to him and he knows.
Yes, he does.
So,
He does. He's good.
yeah. Now, I'd like to just say something. Harry and Meghan left is it Meghan or Megan? It's Meghan, isn't it? They left a seat empty for Diana in their ceremony. Now, I'd just like to say, everybody, that isn't quite true, because there was a seat next to Prince William that had nobody there, but it was because the Queen was sat behind, and according to royal protocol, nobody's allowed to sit in front of the Queen. So although she took a back seat, the space in front of her was empty. And but we all know Diana was there watching the ceremony, and I bet half of heaven, all of heaven was there watching the ceremony, you know. And I thought it was very nice, very nice.
It's nice to see that Diana, hello, is moving in her sons, both of them, daily, strengthening them to what they must do, but also with a wide understanding of seeing their side of their love, gratitude and giving. And I think Harry and Meghan are very much in love, and I thought that I only saw a snippet on the news about the vicar because my husband said, you gotta watch this, from America, from Los Angeles, wasn't it? And some people went, oh, he was over the top, but he was very charismatic on love, how important love was, and like people will find out how important love is. And you know, you've just got to watch them. When they're out and about, if you like, publicly, you know, if you've followed little bits and pieces, they're sort of like they're trying to hold back their deep love and affection for one another, but so they just want to be close, and it's obvious in their eye contact, their body language. So they're well blessed. They're a beautiful, beautiful couple, and I think that was very poignant. So yeah, Diana was definitely watching it, and still is. It's definitely.
Yes, that's right. Would Simon like a reading at all?
Mike, Simon.
Yes, please, he would. Right, Rihanna, would you like to go first for Simon?
Yes, let's see
I'll
what's
tell you
going on.
what made me think of that. Our lovely Archangel Raziel. Now, we haven't talked about Raziel for a long time. Raziel was very closely connected with Cathy, and he has been with me and Rihanna, and he is very connected with Cathy's Distant Echoes, and he organised it. And Archangel Raziel is a keeper of the Stoic information, and if you need any help, he can help you. He will bring you answers. He will clear negativity from past, future, and now events. And he brings amazing information to us. He channeled the Book of Enoch to Enoch, and but the information in there is, whilst it's amazing, it's a lot to take in, but on an archangel level, he is amazing, and if you ask him, he will send you the information that you need. And the card that came up that I stopped on, because when I was typing it didn't type, it went on to the the pictures, and they just flicked over. It says, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. And now I know Simon does clairvoyance and mediumship, as do I and Rihanna. But Simon goes to a class as well as for his painting and that. And I feel that this is a message for you, Simon, from Archangel Raziel. So I'll pass you over to Rihanna now, and we'll say hi, Raziel. We go Razzie. And he's a very interesting archangel.
I always say he's got an eye on the Akashic record, so everything we do, say, whatever, he's taking note. Right.
No doubt.
Here he is. Oh. Just quickly, Simon, I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, and I've got 2 other. I'm going to towards the other cards. I'm going straight. No. 5 Archangel Gable cards fell out. So
Wow.
let's do.
Clearly they were meant to.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No such things as coincidence. It's all synchronistic.
It's about. We'll always know what it's about, eh? But again, it's about your creative expression. Okay. Gable's saying that because you find creativity is expressed through your actions. So anything that you do can be part of your creativity, because you're evolving your creation yourself as well as the creative works that you do, right? So it's all about the encompassment of you. Okay. And I think there's also been areas where they're telling me, I might be wrong, but if it's the case, know that they're observant. There's an area that you've been up, down, etsy, getsy, right? Something that you've got a hold of that is holding you back, basically. And Gable's come out with the let go card. Yeah, let it go, let it go, let it go. And he says, release it just so I can control that situation and leave it up to Creator's infinite wisdom to resolve everything that's beautiful, and it'll be beautiful, and it is beautiful. Okay, and I do see within the creative expression, I got keep going with that beautiful energy that comes from you.
Thanks.
That's in all things that you do to create you. right? Never mind what anybody else says. You do it for you because you are unique, but part of the collective force also. So stand up for that, darling. And also, yeah, they want you to keep it in daily practice. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, doing it. Look at that.
Awesome.
See? All links. And you will be, when you're in your authentic self and you're creating this and you don't give up and you put in daily daily practice and you keep going and you express you, okay? You will, because you're learning now, you are going to be giving speeches and you're going to be speaking about it. And when I say speeches, I mean, you might go somewhere where you do a workshop or a platform about how spirit speaks to you through your artwork. I do feel that's going to be a major expression. That still makes you clairvoyant, and in some respects, mediumship work comes into it. All of that spiritual work and connection comes into play. So you're not wasting your time with the art, sir, if that's what you were thinking. If you come across a stumbling block, you know, there you go, and you get there. Do it for you.
Thank you.
What they're telling me. I don't know if that resonates. I haven't spoken to you for a few weeks, to be honest.
It does.
I've been okay. Blessings and love. Namaste.
And to you.
Simon, I've decided to go for I was guided to do the Archangel Raphael cards for you. Now, I don't know if this card is for me or for you, so it could be for both of us. It's avoid allergens. Well, at the moment, I think I'm having a bit of a problem with hay fever. And I haven't taken any Piriton yet, but I seem to have a lot of trouble with allergies to pollen and that. And I don't normally. It started last year, and I dismissed it. And we had so much rain last year, but I keep having a problem with like sneezing and my nose running and that. So it could be that I'm allergic to something. Now, if this is also you, it's saying avoid allergies, but there could be something in your diet also you're allergic to. And Archangel Raphael, he's racing on his charger to you, donkey, 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 donk, to help you with any allergies you might have. And the card says, Dear Archangel Raphael, please assist me in identifying and avoiding allergies that may be toxic to my health and happiness. Help me to only crave healthful foods and beverages. And it's very difficult if you have an allergy to find what the cause of it is, isn't it, Rihanna? And you can do this by eliminating this and eliminating that, but writing down what you discover, because it's, well, I don't know about you, Simon, you've probably got a very good mind, but me and Rihanna, we sort of forget things. And it's like I shouldn't eat faggots, and I love faggots, and I haven't had faggots for a long time, but every now and again I think,
until I went vegetarian.
Yeah, so do you.
I used to, yeah.
Simon is vegetarian, aren't you, Simon?
I am now, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone back because I worked out, because you know it's like a balance with your food and your body, as your body's been used to receiving what I call an abundance of chemicals throughout its process, but all of a sudden it might go on overload from a protein or a mineral, and you don't realise it's on overload because you don't stop to think what's particularly in a specific food. All right, I found out, and so through if you like self, not what everybody said or what was expected, through self, if you like, analysis and giving and taking and removing. I'm still on the path of learning. I went, I had fresh veg because I couldn't chew it or anything like that, included taste. So I juiced, right? And I found that when I was juicing, as well as having a meal later on, I was, because I'd have the juice for breakfast, well, I was on overload. My body was just going, oh, I'm not having any of this, right? It played up. So I didn't get energy. I felt lousy. And so I thought, well, no, that ain't for me. It's like a trial process. I detoxed with, because I was very ill with those viruses, I detoxed with bicarb soda, fresh lemon juice, and honey, and I say hot water, warm water, you know, from the kettle, and I'd have that every morning before I had any other drink and any other food, right, to try and cleanse the system. And so now I just take fresh lemon in water, filtered water each day before I take anything else. But I mean, I still get the sneezes and stuff, but I've got used to that. And occasionally I'll still get an issue, but the balance is quite effective.
Excuse me a second, hold on.
I see
I've
the
just muted Simon.
I see the changes in
Simon's
my
disappeared. That sounded like a Star Wars theme, didn't it? I love Star Wars.
Right.
So,
yeah,
allergies, being allergic to different things.
Add in certain types of beef dishes. Do you see what I mean? So it's a case of balancing your system for how you feel, and you get to know. You know, I mean, I could have easily, when I was going through it all, and when I get the odd day, is I can't be asked to have anything to eat because I feel better without anything in my gut. You can't look at life like that, you know. Your body needs nourishment, and so you. But because I was so poorly, I was getting to the stage, nothing, nothing. You know, I still don't feel what's the word? Whereas people would say feel hungry, I really fancy that. I'm getting there slowly, but I don't always have that passion. So I usually say to Ian, what? No, I don't. So I said to Ian, what are we having for dinner then? What have you decided? And then if he says something and I'm not sure, I go, oh, I don't think so. Any more ideas? But usually I go along with it, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so I know when I have to cut back on things and when I need to lift things, and you're sensitive to dairy, Jules. Yeah, I started to be a bit iffy. I have completely skimmed milk, but I am now having Greek-style yogurt, and you can buy the frozen, the fresh dark berries for breakfast Monday to Friday, which is excellent. And when I'm at home, I'll have some eggs and stuff.
What do you mean dark berries? Do you mean blueberries?
No, they've got their blueberries, blackberries, red berries. There's a
all
mixture
sorts of berries.
all sorts,
Yeah.
usually dark berries. Ever so healthy.
Yeah, I have shredded wheat with blueberries.
Yeah, oh
and
nice.
The blueberries sweeten the shredded wheat for me.
Almond. Yeah, I do have almond milk occasionally. Yeah, it's rather good actually.
Oh right.
I didn't like almond milk, but you found it good, did you, Simon?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just a question of getting used to the taste?
Yes.
And getting used to getting used to the taste of it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I like almonds, but I didn't like the almond milk. But when I gave up sugar years ago, after I had Jenny, which was 45 years ago, I couldn't. For 3 weeks I was going, oh, that's horrible. That's a lovely cup of tea. Oh, that's a lovely cup of tea, and I thought it was horrible. But after those 3 weeks, without having sugar in the tea and coffee, I don't like it now. I won't have sugar in my tea and coffee. You know, don't like the taste of it. So it could be if I spent 3 weeks with the almond milk going, oh, I don't like that. I'd eventually get to like it, because I do like almonds. I bought some almond nuts.
I have
but I found them a bit difficult to eat, so I think Stephen and Dave polished them off, you know.
Yeah, I have zero. But yeah, and I did skip for a while the yogurt, because your body goes through changes, because again it's to do with a chemical that you've picked up, or a part of something that your body's picked up over a build-up of time. And so, you know, there comes a period when you have to give yourself a gap from that particular food. It's all about balancing. And I think the older you get, you're more susceptible you are to different things going on. And you just have to work through each person.
Yeah, that's right, because I found years ago I ended up with irritable bowel system. Syndrome, and I went on a diet, but I'd been so used to what I'd always been eating for 30 or 40 years that, like you, Rihanna, my body didn't like the change of eating totally healthy food and cutting out a lot of what I was using and replacing things. It wasn't a big difference, but it was enough for my body to say, hang on a minute, I don't like this. You've been eating this for 40 years and now you've changed, you know.
Try and eat fresh as much as possible. I mean, I used to love, Simon knows this, I used to love those gluten-free sausages and stuff like that. I can't eat sausages anymore. I can't chew them.
What about the gluten-free one?
What I love lately, what I've been having lately, is Ian chops the onions and the bell peppers and everything else very, very tiny. I love a tin of tuna that's just in water, you know, and it makes a tuna crunch. And I might have that with a jacket potato or and baked beans. Nice. I might also have that tuna crunch in like a cold pasta salad. So we'll put the pasta up, let it go cold, and put a few little bits and pieces in there as well. Really yummy. So in the warmer weather, I've been having what I call pasta salads, because I've gone on the days that I could eat, you know, a normal salads I used to love. I can't eat tomatoes like I used to. I certainly can't eat cucumber unless they're done up like minuscule. So I can't eat the leaves. So yeah, so in a way I'm blessed, because it's teaching me to eat things that are proving to be a little bit better for my gut. So although I'm like, I can't have that, I can't have that, in a way it's a good thing. So I'm not complaining. So yeah.
Yeah. Simon, are you just vegetarian and not vegan?
Not vegan yet, but working towards it.
Oh, are you? Oh, I can't be vegetarian, everybody. I tried it for 9 months and I succumbed to a chicken and mushroom pie one day when I was hungry. And I just say a blessing for what I eat and for the animals that come down and provide the food for us. And I'm just not very good. I eat fish as well. I like fish. I eat quite a bit of fish. So Jill said, I'm not vegetarian, but my daughter is. She's working towards vegan as well. I eat pretty much everything. I eat everything pretty much. Me, I'm on the seafood diet, you know. Seafood and eat
seafood,
I used to be like that. I mean, I did notice, see, I know it's ridiculous, but when when Ian was poorly, and it was, I think it was it our joint birthday or Rex out, whenever it was, it was Easter, right? We thought, I'll blow it. We went, I said, let's just go to get a Chinese takeout, you see. So we went and got a Chinese takeout, and I only had, a little bit of rice and a couple of bits and pieces. I think I like egg fried rice and the noodles and things like that. I'll tell you what, my gut afterwards, no, it's something to do with the oil they put with Simon. I don't know what it is. I mean, the food itself is lovely, but it's like, no, don't think I go there anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'm not being funny. And I used to love
It's
the
a shame,
Chinese.
isn't it? Because you used to love a Chinese, didn't you?
Yes,
You
the
know.
Chinese takeaway. I love it. I love the authenticity. Said the shop in Bristol that was near the M Shed, which was like a Chinese haven selling, I think it was Thai under Chinese food, but fresh, they're veg fresh and stuff like that. And he was hoping to go and pay a visit to collect some bits and pieces to cook ourselves. But they've moved. I think he's discovered roughly where they've moved to. But it mean chipping off to Bristol and parking up, etc. So we haven't done it yet. But yeah, he used, because just by M Shed when we were there, he said he spotted them by M Shed. But I think they've all, this particular shop, I think there's a group of them, they've all moved together somewhere. So hopefully we'll get some ingredients at some point in time when we feel like it. But yeah, so I don't know whether it's to do with the oil they use or what, but it's the same. I'm very careful now with fish and chips. If I haven't had it for 2 or 3 weeks, I'll then quite happy to have half a piece of cod or something like that. You know, you should probably have it with mashed potato or something, and
Well,
some
I
rice.
think you can eat everything as long as you eat nation.
Unfortunately. Mm.
No.
Yes.
Rihanna, we've only got 5 minutes left because it's 25 past. But I've picked a card for everybody, and anybody that reads this visits us in the archives. And if you have watched this in the archives, we're very grateful, and we hope you've enjoyed this. And this is so funny. It's an Archangel Raphael card that I asked him to pick, and it's also very much a Divine Mother card because it's unconditional joy. And whatever you do when you're working with spirit, do it with love and do it with joy. Well, everything you do in your daily life, do it with joy and do it with love. And things go so much better. But this card is unconditional joy, and it shows Archangel Raphael sat in a garden, and his wings are folded up, lovely white wings, and that's like the divine is embracing him with the scent and the smell of the flowers. He's got 3 little dogs with him, and Jules, every time I get this card for somebody, they normally end up getting a dog. Well, I've got a dog, and I've just noticed I've got Casper in there. Look, Casper is my white Highland Terrier, and he's in that picture. And there's this little dog here. Is a dog that Cathy loved. That sort of dog. It's just where my finger is. And there's another one that is like a red setter. And they are, I think it's not a red, I think they're a red setter, I'm not sure, short-haired one, but they're beautiful dogs. Anyway, the look on Archangel Raphael's face, the love that he has for animals and the love they give us, and at that same time, the love they give you is so very healing. He works very closely with animals. He will send you cats sometimes. You'll have a cat appear out of nowhere, just so the cat will come up and say hello to you, and it's like a connection. They say that cats are they feline friends of psychic people. I can't think what they're called, but Archangel Raphael, he will send you a cat. He sent me a cat. He sent Rihanna a cat out of the blue, and they really have a healing property to them. Familiar, that's it. The cats are familiar. I mean, around our way, the dogs and cats are always being like the dog and cat film, I've got one cat that'll tease Casper and just sit staring at him, and I'm all right if Casper doesn't see him, but if he does see him, he charges up and down the garden. But this is beautiful, and for everybody, this is a lovely card for everybody that's watching this, and Archangel Raphael is saying, do what you do with love and what brings you joy, and he will surround you, and so will the Divine Mother, Mary. She will surround you in her unconditional love and joy, and you'll find that life will be much brighter for it. And we're all going to have a beautiful summer or a beautiful winter, because even in the winter there's lovely flowers, and like Riana said about the autumn, it's so pretty.
The card that fell out as you were saying that for everyone was Archangel Raphael from the Fairy Protect Angel Therapy. Look.
Can't see it, Riana.
Angel Therapy.
And it was Raphael, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, he likes to come in big time here. He helps. He sends all the angels surrounding everybody that watched this show in their love, and that is radiating out a much wider area. But if they get an opportunity to come forward, like Gabriel and Raphael, they do. They're there.
Give your cares and worries to us angels, this is what he's saying, and allow us to take your burdens. So drop the shackles and chains.
Yeah, that's very good, because
that goes with your card, actually.
Yeah, it does go with my card, doesn't it? Yeah, I might put that in the Flying with Angels group on Facebook, those two cards, as a reminder for people, because so often we hang on to things and we don't pass it up. And like Riana always says, if you've got someone that's really getting on your ear roll, have a rant and just pass it up. It doesn't matter who you pass it up to. It could be Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Divine Mother, Saint Germain. He'll torch everything with a violet flame, and I see you're very connected, Jules, because you're writing in purple.
It's nature, it's natural, but you can release anything rather than have it stay onto you for a length of period of time, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're saying because after a while something can carry on and it can just bug you, and it can keep coming up later on in life, or at certain times. Whereas if you release it, and each time you know that you can call the angels to help you through on spirit, call upon spirit to help you through a particular period of time, you'll be surprised. They really do help you.
Yeah.
Really do.
Right, the next show, everybody. What's today? May.
It's 24th.
It's the next show. We've got a special guest coming on, and that is Jenny Satari on the 14th of June, and she is the creator and owner of IntuiTalks, and we're so very grateful for her and what she does, because she really pushes the boat out to make sure everything's running well, and she's done a marvellous job with this, and it all goes connected to different places. If you know anybody that would like to join IntuiTalks, please ask them if they'd like to come and enjoy. Share with your friends, because once you get used to it, it is easy. And it's nice. You don't have to come on video like Jules hasn't. So we're looking forward to that. Right, it's time to go, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Flying with Angels. We hope you all received something to take home with you. Thank you, Jesus, the Masters, the Angels, for being with us. Thank you to Divine Mother Mary and Archangel Raphael. And everybody in heaven, you know. So
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for
okay.
being here. It's such a pleasure for everybody that's listening that wasn't able to make the show. Our love goes out to every single one of you. And yeah, we'll be back. Look out, 14th of June, isn't it, Lens? The 14th of
14th.
June.
Yeah.
Look at the beautiful Jenny Davis, sorry, Jenny Satori, and you never know, you might have a surprise reading. She's amazing. She reads the runes. So we could have some beautiful rune readings going on there as well. And she's extremely good. But it's just going to be a joy to have her join us, isn't it, Linz?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's going to be. I wrote to her and I said, "Do you want to do an interview or readings?" And she said, "I don't mind. We can do both."
Yes, yes.
So she'll probably come on and just chat.
Yes.
We invite her on to chat, and if she feels she wants to do some readings, or her guides go, "Yeah, you need to get a message to that person," then
yes.
She will. Okay, right. I better stop recording now then. So I'll say, God bless you, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Simon. Gonna say bye, Simon.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Linz.
Right, I've stopped recording now. No, I haven't. I have now.
I've still got it broadcasting here.
Yeah, because I've stopped recording. Oh.
Microphone's still flashing.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, it's just me and you, Riana.
Still flashing live. Strange.
Oh.